Okay, this is the first one really, but the last one in the order that I went in. Um, if you take a look at the margin here, there's always some rationale for it. There's always a reason for it. So, for example, in previously, before we had these new kinds of adjectives, like there's now like these adjectives like gravis and brevis and tenuous. Like if you remember, Marcus is up on a branch, and the ramos is described as tenuous, not tenus, but tenuous. So they're called third declension adjectives, and this is a pretty straightforward exercise. It's just like, I think, just asking you to get the nominatives right. So if you think like previously, if a slave was a big slave, it would be servus magnus. Or if it was a happy slave girl, it would be Ankyla laita. But now what we have is let's say it's a short slave. Like the word brevis means short. So now we might have a short slave, and that's a new kind of an adjective. Brevis is a third declension adjective. So servus brevis, or maybe a short sword, like gladius brevis. Us is. See, us is here. And like we also have this hasta, which is like one of the weapons that a Roman soldier carries, and that's like a kind of like a javelin or a spear. So instead of being hasta breva, certain adjectives, third declension adjectives, do not have the same, the same endings as first or second declension adjectives or nouns. They're like, they're third declension. So they live in their own world. So hasta brevis instead of breva. You just don't have breva. It doesn't exist. So hasta brevis, hasta brevis. But hasta longa, you see, us is. That's what this means over here, basically. So the new third declension adjectives are levis, brevis, gravis, and tenuis, I want to say. So anything that's not those four is a first or a second declension adjective. But these four new adjectives are third declension. So gladius longus, that's an older adjective that you've seen before, longus. Gladius longus non tam levis est quam gladius brevis. Not brevus, but brevis. So once again, gladius longus non tam levis est quam gladius brevis. And then even with a feminine noun like hasta, the is ending of this third declension covers both masculine and feminine. So that's sort of what's going on this side of it. You can have gladius brevis, or you can have hasta brevis. So hasta brevis non tam gravis est quam hasta longa. Here we go back to the original adjectives that you already know. So hasta longa, the old fashioned, the old thing that you've known, is different than hasta brevis. I hope that's enough to get you started. This tends to be a kind of a tricky thing for students, but I think the way that they've laid it out here, it's not that hard. It's really just recognizing which adjective is either first or second declension. Like longus could be longus or longa or longum, but gladius brevis is a third declension. Brevis I'm sorry. Tristis is also a third declension adjective, right? You've seen the word tristis as Aemilia est tristis, quia frater eos abest. Amelia is sad because her brother is away. So I guess there's more than just the ones that I just said, but tristis, tenuis, brevis, levis, gravis, these are the new ones, and hopefully from the reading you've come across them. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Take care. Sorry for like the kind of relatively last minute stuff, but if I know one thing about teenagers is they do their homework at the very last minute. So hopefully this is enough time. Take care. Bye bye.